Hello, welcome. That's weird. I don't know what I'm gonna do for my intro. We'll figure it out as we go. So today I wanted to film another look just because it's my day off and I really enjoyed filming my first one, so I thought I'd film another one for you. I'm gonna look at myself a lot in the viewfinder. I poll on my Instagram and a lot of people wanted me to do a talk through video, which is gonna be weird. I don't much care for my voice. I think I have a weird voice, but you all wanted it, so this is gonna be real awkward. So today I'm going to redo a makeup look that I did like yesterday. Was it yesterday? It was like a day or two ago and I got a lot of compliments on it. If you like what you see, subscribe. If you don't like what you see, I'll just yeet myself into the void and no one will have to deal with me. Anyway, let's get started. I'm moisturized, it's all sunken into my skin. My skin is getting better, so that's good. Nobody cares. So I'm gonna start off with my primer. This is the Maybelline Face Studio Master Prime. This is just one of my favorite drugstore primers. So we're gonna just put that on the face. I'm gonna focus most of it in the middle of my face because that's where I get the most oily. This is really good for oily skin, by the way. It feels like it wouldn't be. It has a weird texture, but it is good for oily skin. And probably, I think it's supposed to be for all skin types, but I'm not really sure. I know not everybody believes in primers, but I do. So take that, flat earthers. I don't know. So next I'm going to color correct with my e.l.f. color correcting stick. This is the green one. I need a mirror. I'm just going to dot that on my problem areas. Even when my chin's not broken out, it still tends to be pretty red. My face tends to be pretty red in general. And I'm gonna let it sit for a second. I'm not gonna blend it right away so that it can kind of actually stick to my skin. Yeah, I'm gonna let that sit for a second. I do want to try and do this kind of fast because, I mean, it's 2:14 in the afternoon, but because of daylight savings and living in the northwest of America, it gets dark at like 4. Rude. Okay, I think it's probably okay to blend it out. I always blend out my color corrector with my fingers, just because I feel like if I blend it out with a sponge, it's gonna pick up a lot of the product, and I don't want that because I need the redness to be covered. It's the whole point of color correcting, Susan. So once the color corrector is nice and blended out, we are going to move on to foundation. If you have to use a lot of color corrector, you can go over it with like a concealer before you put on your foundation. I used to do that, but this is a pretty light layer of color corrector, so I'm just going to leave it as it is and move on to my foundation. So the foundation I'm going to use today is the same one I used when I did this look before a couple days ago. This is the Wet n Wild Photo Focus foundation in porcelain. Listen, this thing is less than $6 at my local Target. It's so good. A $6 foundation with this coverage, Henny? Wow. Color me shook. God, I need to shut up. It has great coverage. Does it have a scent? I'm not a kind of person who smells my makeup because I don't do that. It does kind of have a smell. It has, why does it smell? It smells like a doctor's office. Weird. But yeah, I'm just going to dip into this and put it all over my dang face. Put that on the chin predominantly because that's where most of my color corrector is. Bada zing, bada ding. I think that should be good. That should be good for right now. This is a very nice buildable foundation, so if I don't have enough on, I can definitely just continue to put some on until I have the coverage that I want. But for right now, I'm gonna take the Real Techniques dry sponge and just blend that into the skin. So much fun. Are you enjoying watching me blend at home? I know I'm not. onto the ears, even though my hair covers my ears. My skin covers my ears? God, I hope so. I would normally use a wet sponge, but I had to throw my Real Techniques wet sponge away because it was getting disgusting. And my beauty blender is also pretty gross. I need to buy a new one. I actually bought this sponge on accident. I didn't see that it said use dry until I got home. And I was like, well, maybe it means use dry optional. No, you have to use this dry. It doesn't absorb any water. But it actually blends really well. It's my first time ever owning or using a dry sponge. So, I mean, this isn't my first time using it. I haven't had it for that long. But I do like the way it blends. Foundation looks blended. So now we're going to go in with concealer. This is the one I use. This is the Makeup Revolution Makeup, one of those. This is the Conceal and Define Full Coverage Conceal and Contour. I just use it to conceal. This is in the shade C1. Again, this is a really not expensive product. I think these concealers are $6 and they do a great job. I don't like to conceal my whole chin. I just like to keep it mostly in the middle and go outwards a little bit. And then Cupid's bow, highlight me forehead. That is actually a lot for my forehead. Because I have bangs, I don't really have to highlight my forehead, but I have a what is it called? A cowlick, which makes my bangs sometimes split down the middle, and it's the worst. And then conceal the under eye. I bring the concealer down into the crease of my nostril just so I can get a good triangle shape. I can feel a sneeze coming. Now is not the time. I'm going to let the concealer sit for a second so it can soak into my skin. Not too long though, but I'm going to take the Smashbox Bronze Lights Warm Matte Bronzer. I more so use bronzer to contour my face than bronze it. I'm just going to take that and lightly contour / warm up my face. I like to put my contour right on my cheekbones instead of right under them, because if I put it under my cheekbones, it makes my face shape look weird. And my face is already shaped weird enough. We're just gonna put it right on the cheekbones and take it up to the temple. Bring it back down, a little under the chin, because I have a fat face. What are you doing? What the fuck was that? It looks weird on camera for some reason. It looks like I have it all the way down here. That's fixable though. You wanna know how you fix that? I'm gonna take my dry sponge that still has foundation on it and I'm going to clean up underneath my contour. That's called reverse contouring. And then we're going to go in and we're going to blend our concealer. So for blending the under eyes, I'm going to start at the bottom to blend it out into the foundation so it's not like a sudden shift change, a sudden tone change right into the concealer. And then blend it up onto my eyelid for a little bit of extra eye primer for the shadow we're going to apply. For setting powder, I use the Maybelline Fit Me Loose Finishing Powder, and this is in the lightest shade, shade 05 Fair. Taking a big fluffy brush, and I'm just going to take that and put powder all over my face. When you're using powder, make sure you're not pressing it into the skin when you use a brush, because that can make the makeup underneath move around sometimes. If you must press your powder into your skin, then you must. Who am I to tell you what to do? I'm not your boss. I don't know you. We're not friends. Now the only real places I focus the powder are here on my chin and then right in the creases of my nostrils because that's where I tend to get the most oily on my face. I also try to put a decent amount on my forehead, not too much, but when you have bangs like I do, sometimes the grease from your hair gets on your forehead. Morgan, you should just keep your hair clean. My hair is clean, bitch. If you really want to get in there and make sure there's enough powder, you can go in with a sponge and press it in. Again, I'm looking too much into the viewfinder. I understand this. I apologize. Right, so now we are going to go into the brows. I'm going to bring you in a little bit so you can see what I'm doing. So I'm going to take a spoolie and brush my eyebrows up. Can you tell I shaved the front of this brow when I really shouldn't have? I'm so sorry. This is the Goof Proof Brow Pencil in number 3 by Benefit. I think I'm gonna use that without kicking the tripod. I'm just going to go in with a very light hand. I am super, super, super light-handed when I do my brows. Just because I want to make sure that they get the shape right and everything. I'm not gonna be able to talk you through my brows. I'm gonna have to shut up while I do this. So I'm gonna shut up while I do this. I like to create a little artificial arch that I don't have because God gave me straight brows for some reason. Okay, so this one is just about done. I would say that's a brow. To make sure it's a little bit on the softer side, because I don't want the lines to be too harsh, I'm just going to spoolie through it real quick and blend out the product just so. Bang! That's a brow. Now, oh, she's so tragic. I'm going to do my best to make this brow equal to this brow. I don't know if we can save her. But if they can do surgery on a grape, then I can do my eyebrow. So that's probably good enough. Again, I have bangs, so if my brows aren't totally proportionate, I can just cover them. Before I set them, I do want to add some more hairs at the front of this brow because, again, I was a dumbass and shaved it for some reason. So I'm going to go in with the NYX eyebrow marker in, this is in medium, I think? Yeah, in medium, and I'm just going to flick in some eyebrow hairs. There we go. Those look like brows to me. So now I'm going to take the NYX Control Freak eyebrow gel in clear, and I am just going to, alright, those are eyebrows, I think. So now we can move on to my favorite part of doing my makeup, the eyeshadow. Even though for this look it's really boring. So I think I'm gonna keep you this zoomed in just so you can watch what I do. So I know that earlier I told you that you can blend your concealer upward to use as eyeshadow primer, but I'm also going to use an actual primer. This one that I haven't unwrapped yet. I'm a big boy. I'm a real YouTuber. I do all the important things off camera. This is called HD Studio Photogenic Eyeshadow Base by NYX. I'm just going to pop that on the lid. The shadow look for this particular makeup look is not super complicated, so it doesn't have to be the most primed eyelid you've ever had, but you know, it never hurts. So once the primer is nice and blended, I'm going to grab this palette, the Modern Renaissance palette by Anastasia. Can you tell I've had this for a while with how disgusting it looks? It's hard to not get these gross though because they're Velvor shadow palettes. I'm going to take the color Warm Taupe, which is this one right here. Just any cool tone brown will do. And I'm going to put that as close to the lash line as I can all over the lid. And I am, like I said, I focus at the beginning of the lash line and then just kind of blow it out to the rest of your eyelid. So now I'm going to take a little bit of that same Warm Taupe color under onto the lower lash line. Cool. That looks great! So now we're going to do the same thing to the other eye. Grab some more of that. The reason I blow on the brush when I do that is because these Anastasia shadows are notorious for their fallout. I don't mind it too much, I just don't want to pack on like an insane amount on my lower lid. I'm actually going to go in and even it out by putting some more shadow on this lid. Oh good, the camera's dying. And if I charge it now, I'm going to run out of daylight. And this will all be for naught. Hold on. Remember when I said I didn't want the lighting to change too much by the time I finished filming this video, and then the camera started dying, so I had to charge the battery for 20 minutes, and now the lighting looks completely different? I love that. We're gonna move on to another eyeshadow bit. I'm going to dip into this palette. This is the VDL Expert Color Eye iBook 6.4. This is, I think this is the, yeah, this is the collaboration this branded with Pantone, which is a paint company. This is from an Urban Decay palette. Fairly certain I stole this from my sister, Taryn, if you're watching this. Bitch, I'm not sorry. So we're going to lightly dip into the darker brown color. Not too much because I don't want this to look too intense. But we're gonna do like a faux liner type deal. Just so. I just don't want it to be too dark or too intense. Take some down onto the lower lash line. And that just kind of smokes out the outer thirds of the eye as well as sort of kind of elongating it. Just really focusing it right along the outer thirds of the lash line and then carrying it, excuse me? And then smoking it out. And voila! And doing the same thing on the other eye. Ooh! Not loving that. That one's a little too much. But with the power of blending, I've made it worse. Let me take an actual clean blending brush and see if that will help. Okay, I think I fixed it. I think I fixed it for the most part. Oh, and that's it for the eyeshadow look, really. So now I'm going to curl my lashes, and then I'm going to try a new mascara that I bought yesterday. The only time I pump iron is when I curl my lashes, am I right, ladies? So I'm going to go in with the Worth the Hype NYX mascara, which is the one I used in my first video, but this one is brown. I've never used brown mascara before, and because my lashes are so light, I'm really hoping that they're going to take the color and make my lashes look brown and more natural because it goes with the brown shadow. It's hard to tell in this lighting. I can't tell if it looks actually brown. Hold on. Oh, they totally do. They definitely do look brown. Neato! I love it. So there's the comparison with mascara with no mascara. Alright, so now that the mascara is done, I can bring you back out a little bit. I'm trying to remember what blush I used. I think I used my ColourPop one, but I kind of want to use my Too Faced one. This is the Too Faced Love Flush in the shade I Will Always Love You. I'm gonna put that on my cheeks. And to give my blush a more natural look, I do kind of bring it down here to make me like look like I'm actually flushed and I didn't just like put it on the apples of my cheeks, haha. Not that there's anything wrong with apples of the cheeks blush. I just prefer mine to come down a little bit, that's all. Some on the tip of my nose and but on the bridge, why not? Let's be adventurous. Kill me. So now I'm going to move on to highlight. I'm that kind of person who I start with liquid highlight and then I move on and put powder highlight on top of it because I like to be extra as fuck. So for my liquid highlight today, I'm going to use the NYX Away We Glow liquid highlighter in the shade Crystal Glare. And I'm going to start with my brow bone, run that out with my finger, and then bring it onto me cheekbones that I don't have. Then again, just blending it out with my finger. It's going to mix in with the eyeshadow, but that's okay. Because we can go back in with some eyeshadow and fix it up if we really feel the need. I don't personally feel the need at the moment, but I might change my mind. Some on the bridge of my nose a little bit. Cupid's bow. Some more on the Cupid's bow. A tiny bit on the chin, just because my chin is my problem area and I don't want it to be too highlighted, just because I don't want everybody to look like, whoa, look at her acne, haha. So now I'm gonna go into my Anastasia Beverly Hills Aurora Glow Kit. Which color did I use? Oh, I used this one, Helia, however you pronounce it. The yellowish toned one. And then I just lightly dust it on top of the liquid. This is such a pretty color. So before we go any further, I'm gonna grab a Q-tip and get the mascara off my eyelids, so I will be right back. I'm gonna go back in and use the NYX eyebrow marker that we used before to put in some hairs on our brows, and we're just gonna pop on a couple of fake freckles. They're not gonna be super dark today, but that's okay. They don't need to be. So there's the freckles, and now the last step of everything is the lips. So I'm gonna go in with this one by NYX. This is their matte lipstick in the shade Honeymoon. That should do it. Okay. Alrighty. So now, as the camera is dying, I'm going to go in with some setting spray. This is the Revolution Makeup Sport Fix setting spray. I'm gonna go take my hair down, and then that should do it. This is the finished look. Nice and highlighted, freckled up, flushed, fall appropriate. But anyway, guys, that's gonna be it for this video. If you liked, consider liking, subscribing, all of the above, none of the above, whatever makes you happy. I'm not here to tell you what to do. Thank you so much for watching. I'll catch you in the next one.